these might be the most popular New Balance shoe right now. The New Balance 9060 has been out for well over a year now, and in that time frame, it has become one of the most popular sneakers for the brand. We now have some brand new releases in some pretty minimalist colorways, an all over white pair, and also this pair right here, a triple black leather version. And in this video, I'll be reviewing this shoe and telling you why everybody loves the New Balance 9060. So this shoe released recently earlier in Europe for a retail price of 190 euros, which if you convert to US dollars, we're talking around $210. And yes, that is a lot more expensive than the retail price in the US, where it goes for $150. That European markup is crazy. However, that didn't matter because it seems like these black pairs have been flying off the shelves, selling out pretty much everywhere, every single store that has dropped them so far. They have not yet released on the New Balance website, either in the US or in Europe, and once they do, I will be leaving a link to this shoe in the description of the video, so check for that. And selling out seems to be quite a common thing for the New Balance 9060. When we think of the brand, a lot of attention gets paid to the 990 series, the 2002R, the 1906R, even the 550s. But over the last year, it's been the 9060 that has been quietly gaining a lot of popularity. It is all over my TikTok feeds. Even when I look at some general release colorways, I go on StockX and I see that they're reselling for quite above retail. And name any other New Balance shoe that over the last year, even the general release colorways have resale value, because I really can't think of any. So it does really beg the question, why do people love this shoe? One of the main reasons for me is the looks. This sneaker blends the past and the future and gives you this very retro futuristic type of vibe. The upper of the sneaker takes a lot of its inspiration from the 990 series. You can definitely see that with the N logo. To me, it looks quite similar to the one on the 990 V4. You'll also notice that the paneling on the toe box of the shoe is also quite similar to the 990 series. You got the mesh panels underneath, some nubuck paneling, and also on this pair you have leather. However, it's also a very unique looking pair because the 990 details that I was talking about on this upper, you can see that they have clearly been exaggerated here. Instead of having like a rounded toe box or rounded paneling like the 990 series, you can see that the paneling has been instead stretched out to more of a pointed toe type of look. And that really gives this a futuristic type of look in my opinion, and if you look closely, it also has a heart shape. One of my absolute favorite things about this shoe, in fact, is the top-down look. We don't talk about this much in sneaker reviews, and I don't know why, because if you think about how you see your shoes the most often, it's definitely going to be from the top down. And the 9060 to me looks absolutely fire from the top down. Now, usually I'm not a big fan of triple black sneakers. I do think that the details of a sneaker usually get lost in this type of colorway. However, that is not the case with the 9060. I think this shoe looks incredible in a triple black colorway because you really notice the silhouette of the sneaker and all of its different edges and curves. This is not actually the first time we've seen a triple black version of the shoe. There have been some other models which featured mainly suede materials, and those also sold out very quickly. However, this is the first time we've seen a black 9060 mainly made out of leather, and that is definitely important. Leather is quite a durable material on shoes. I've seen on some other sneaker reviews that people have said that the long-term durability of the suede on the 9060s was a bit of an issue. It does tend to wear out over time. However, you won't really have this problem with this leather triple black version. First of all, they won't look as dirty. The leather should hold up better than the suede, and the leather used here, I have to say, it does feel quite nice and soft, and it feels like the sneaker is already broken in. The tongue of the sneaker features the New Balance 9060 logo. It's done in a jeweled form. And one more unique visual feature about this shoe is this TPU heel counter. It's quite a big exaggerated counter, and it's there to of course provide you some stability. The laces used on this pair too are quite different than your normal 9060s. You get these shore laces on this shoe, or skinny fat laces as I like to call them, instead of your normal flat style laces. But really what truly stands out about the 9060 is this midsole. There really is no other New Balance shoe like this. When I first got this shoe initially, it did remind me of the Yeezy 500 with all of those different pods on the midsole, which is what you get here as well. On this midsole midsole, you get that absorb cushioning, which is divided into 6 pods. And looking underneath at the outsole, you have these diamond shapes on each of the pods, which apparently was inspired by the New Balance 860 V2. However, I'm not really sure how that's the case because I don't really see that at all on the 860 V2. You do get this elongated heel or enlarged heel here, which does make the shoe appear a lot bigger than it actually is, which at least for me personally is the biggest downside with this sneaker. And it's the main reason why I have stayed away from adding a pair of these to my own collection, and that is because I don't think this enlarged heel translates really well in the bigger sizes. I wear a US size 11, and for me, I do feel like the sneakers look very big on my feet. I think this shoe looks better and better the lower down in size you go, and maybe that's the main reason why it's always the smaller sizes of the shoe that sell out first. But one way to overcome that, of course, is to make sure that your pants are just as big as your sneakers. Having wider fitting pants or looser fitting jeans will hide the clunkiness of the shoe, and I think that'll look much better than wearing these with some taper pants or taper joggers. Additionally, one downside with this heel, and I've heard this from people who wear these while driving, this heel does get worn out quite a bit when just driving your car. That's what I've heard people say. But some positives about this midsole, and the second reason why I think people really love this shoe, is the comfort. I've seen the New Balance Reddit forums, I've heard from people that I know, people just swear by the comfort of this shoe. Some even calling it the most comfortable New Balance sneaker that they've worn. Now, I won't say that, but I will say the comfort is different. For me, the 990 V6 still remains the most comfortable lifestyle sneaker from New Balance, mainly because of that fuel cell technology, which is quite soft. The cushioning on this pair is definitely not as soft, but it still feels very comfortable. My feet are slightly on the wider side, and I have to say that the fit on the 9060 for me is much better than the 990 series. It's definitely a wide foot friendly shoe, and the shoes just feel great right out the box. And the cushioning is just the right amount for everyday wear. I think you can wear these shoes all day and your feet will still feel great. And for sizing on these, so I wear the 9060 in my true size, which is a US 11, and they are perfect. I also wear my true size in other New Balance models like the 990 V3, V4, V5, and V6. Similarly, I go true to size in the 2002s and the 1906s. Now, a lot of people say that they go a half size down in all those shoes I just mentioned, and if that's the case, then you're probably gonna fit a half size down in these as well. So my suggestion is go with your usual New Balance size in these. For me, that's true to size. For you, that might be a half size down. So I'd love to hear from you guys who do own this sneaker. Why do you love this sneaker so much? What are your thoughts on the reasons for why this shoe has become so popular? If you found this video useful, make sure you hit that like button, and of course, please do subscribe to the channel. I am very, very close to that 100K mark. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. That is where I am the most active. At JDKick6 is the handle. And if you're looking for some listening content as well, my sneaker podcast is available on all streaming platforms. I will leave links to both Spotify and iTunes in the description of this video. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and for supporting the channel. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.